What is up, everybody? My name is Chelsea and you are watching my channel. I am super excited to just sit down and talk with you guys bi-weekly. This is a collaboration with Good News and we're just here to put out some good content. You know, the internet, Facebook, social media in general has a lot of negativity going around it, a lot of confrontation that just isn't necessary anymore. And I know that it's kind of like the social climate nowadays, but it's just not needed. Here, we're just gonna sit, gonna get ready with me. Sometimes we're gonna have other content going on. So I'm just really excited to get started and create a space where we can all just sit and chill and, you know, learn from each other. It's a super great product. I love Maybelline's Master Prime Face Studio. It is really great because if you can tell, I have beautiful acne on my face and I am slowly but surely learning to love it, even though I still struggle with it from time to time. Just ask my boyfriend and my parents and pretty much anybody, because I will divulge how awful I feel about my acne. But you know, it's natural. Unfortunately, not all of us were blessed with beautiful skin, so I'm just going to learn to embrace it. So if anybody else has that feeling, you know, just work it. With me, the best way for me to kind of combat that feeling of insecurity deep inside is to cake my face in makeup. That's right, you heard me. My dad will always give me crap about it, and you know what? It's okay. It's my face. And also because I was in news for a while, being an anchor, you have to wear makeup. So makeup is just a part of my life now. It is me. I am it. It's just how it works. So we're gonna go in with my foundation very first. First off, this is the CoverGirl True Blend Matte. It has SPF in it and it is dirty because I use it a lot and don't clean the outside of my makeup. So this is in the shade L20, which is light ivory, and it's still not the right shade for me because, as you can see, I am extremely pale. So it's very hard for me to find foundations. And I know it's hard for a lot of people out there. That is a whole new cup of tea. We will talk about that another time. So I usually like to use a pump because it's more, you can already tell I use it a lot because of the sound it's making. I use the pumps because it is so much better for your skin, believe it or not, than anything else, because this is easy come out. That didn't make a whole lot of sense. This comes out, and with other products, you know, it's just not as hygienic. I don't want to get into the science of it, but thank you to all the engineers out there, packaging engineers, who helped put this together and help make pumps. Let's make pumps for all cosmetics. How about that? It might just get down to the point where I'm just going to have to just pull this sucker right on out and use it that way. Which means I will just... Maybe it will work now. You know, let's just have this sit and see where it goes. I love using Beauty Blender sponges, a little damp one as well. Don't mind this. It may look dirty, but it is really not. I have washed this. I wash my stuff every single day. Again, going back to that acne, you want to make sure your brushes are always clean, because there are so many things, like infections even, that you can get from not washing this stuff, and nobody wants that. And for everybody who wants to also call me out on having a very nasty face with all my acne, you know what? That's fine. I've accepted it. And I'm sorry that my face just doesn't please you. Okay, so for the most part, I've really got it all kind of worked in there. This is kind of how my face normally will look after I coat it several times with makeup. so you can still kind of see the red, but it's pretty diminished. So that's really the best that it's gonna get. So then I go in, because after a while during the day, with most foundations, it does kind of like set into your skin overcreates the oil production, and you start looking a little shiny. To try to combat that for my combination skin, which is technically what I have with a mix of adult acne up in there, I use the number 7 pressed powder, just absolutely gorgeous. I go in there with a nice fluffy brush, and I just kind of swirl that around, get rid of that excess, and just pat that sucker on. A phrase that I have been familiar with since puberty, when I started this whole magical process of becoming the awesome woman I am today, and getting all this beautiful blemish stuff on my face. So now that that's done, just gonna go make sure that everything's kind of worked in around my eyebrows, because that is where I am going next in this little venture here. Beautiful. So I use the NYX brow pencil, and I usually just first make sure I've combed my eyebrows through. So a lot of people might be a little, perturbed by how I do my eyebrows, because of how light they are and how I like them to kind of show out of my face, kind of draw attention here and not so much here. I do what some may call the block brow, just really putting emphasis around there. I am not Jordan Woods, I am not the Kardashians, I am not really a makeup guru who knows how to do their makeup. But every guru has their own way of doing their eyebrows. Somebody I really like is Jeffree Star, and Jeffree Star is fantastic because Jeffree works with just a brow bone, and the makeup always looks flawless. So I have thick looking eyebrows, but when it comes down to it and I actually put them in shape, they are not really, thick eyebrows. And I like thick eyebrows. I think they look good, especially on my face. So now that I'm done with that, I'm going to go through with the NYX Control Freak, because nobody likes it when they do their eyebrow and their eyebrow moves around. I'm always for a good gel. It also kind of helps fill them in yet again, because no matter what I do, my eyebrows, never look the way I want, even after I sit here and draw on them for forever and a day. And you know what? It is what it is, So, now that I'm done with that, I am going to do my eyeshadow. And again, I'm going to just emphasize this one more time. I am not a makeup guru. I am not really that great at makeup. I am just here to create a fun place for everybody to laugh at the way I do my makeup and to talk about, things that are going on in my life, your life, anybody's. So my eyeshadow is not going to be great. And the fact that I only have my Morphe M518 brush, and this is all I've got for eyeshadow. So you know what? I'm just going to go with a subtle eyeshadow, nothing too fancy, and just show you how it works. So this is Smashbox right here. And this is my palette that I use. I usually like to go in with a really nice base to start, so I'm going with this beautiful light shade. Oh, so beautiful, so fabulous. And I'm really just gonna rub that on in there, tap off excess, just work that in again to the center. This is how I kind of learned how to do makeup. My mom never did makeup as a kid. She never really wore it. Hasn't since I've been alive anyway. So I learned how to do my makeup with YouTube tutorials. So if you were growing up in like the 50s or 60s or 70s, 80s, pre-internet age, how did you learn how to do your makeup? I want to know. Because I know a lot of older women, really refined, good-looking women who do their makeup. I want to know if your mom taught you, if your friends taught you, if you taught yourself using like CoverGirl from like the 60s. Was CoverGirl around that long? I don't remember. I don't remember the history of CoverGirl. But, you know, I just want to know. Let me know. Because I think that's fascinating. If it wasn't for YouTube, gosh, I'd still be overlining my eyes to the fullest and not having eyebrows and using like super weird gloss on my lips that really accentuated my snaggletooth and braces combination. So I, again, am not great at doing eyeshadow. So this is kind of what we've got. And then I'm going to get really close up in here. And I'm going to go in with this beautiful little, like, magenta burgundy color. I'm not really great with color names. And just really work that into the outer corner, I mean. Just to add a little bit of contrast here. I always like to show, you know, how large my eyes are, but also kind of create more of like a demure look. Also using colors that really bring out my blue eyes, because I get a lot of comments on these. If you see my professional portfolio page, which I will link down below, you will note that I did a story on Tinder and kind of the revolution of dating in my generation, and I made a fake Tinder profile, much to the chagrin of my boyfriend. And it was all the comments I was getting, so I was like, you know what, I really gotta work these suckers. Everybody going for those baby blues. You know, every country artist was absolutely right. Blue eyes, man, that's where it's at. But I will say, growing up, I was really jealous of people with brown eyes. All my friends were, you know, really bold green eyes. My best friend growing up, she has beautiful green eyes that like change a little bit with some blue. I was super jealous of that. You know, grass is greener on the other side. We all know that. So now that that's kind of done, I like to really work this in, since again, I do not have any more eyeshadow brushes. I have no idea where they're going. I like to go in with that color again and work it under the eye and pull it up. That's how I do it. So now I've got a little bit eye look here. It's the best it's gonna be. So now that that is done, I go in with eyebrow pencil, and this is it. Lip liner, that is not what I needed. And my eye lining pen. So what I do first is I take this beauty right here and I work it into my eyelashes, right in that waterline on my top lid. Old NYX pencil. And just so you guys know, try to replace your makeup, you know, as much as you can, because I've had this for years and I might get an eye infection from it. We'll see. So I like to go in and create a thicker, nicer looking line above my eyes. And just like my eyeshadow and my eyebrows, they will never be even. I had a teacher in school who loved talking about facial symmetry, and this was in junior high when I was super awkward looking and learned how to shade my eyebrows. And she used to talk about facial symmetry and how, you know, the most beautiful people in the world are theoretically the ones with the symmetrical face, where you could literally fold it in, as she said, and it would be like a perfect match. And my best friend growing up had like a perfect symmetry, like all the way down to the tiniest brows on her her eyebrows and her eyelashes, her eyes. She never wore makeup, like hardly. If she did, it was like a little bit of, you know, mascara here and there, and that was it. And I used to look and say, wow, that's how you get beautiful. That's how it works. You literally have to try to make your face fold in on itself. And it wasn't going to work for me. I had a snaggletooth here, or was it here? I can't remember which side it was. And then I had weird eyebrows from all the shaving I did. You can kind of see it now because just the slightest little wag, my eyebrows move around. They never match, and my eyeshadow never matched on both sides. It was just a lot. So I've accepted that. I am gorgeous for not having any symmetry whatsoever. If there was a prize, you know. And you know what? Again, going back to that whole thing, like, it was kind of irrelevant. Like, everyone is beautiful for the slightest little mistake, if they think that it's even a mistake, because it's really not. I mean, it's really not. Everyone's got a little bit of, you know, a flaw on their face, and it just kind of adds to the uniqueness and the beauty of it. That's why humankind is just so marvelous. I mean, kind of like with giraffes, not every single giraffe is going to have the exact same spot, and the same thing with like leopards, cheetahs. Even when it comes down to elephants, not every single elephant is going to have the same wrinkle, you know? It's kind of a marvelous thing. We were not made to be carbon copies. Which just, whoa, incredible. Any sociologists sitting out there watching this, or anthropologists, I hope you can relate, because it's literally just so fascinating to me. And yeah, doesn't look perfect, doesn't match really hardly at all, but you know what, that's fine, who cares? So before I go in and do my mascara, I like to take this weapon right here and just take my eyelashes and really fold them up. You know, really damage my eye. You can sit here for hours and do this. You could sit here for minutes. I usually like to do like 15 seconds. Because again, I hardly have any eyelashes to begin with. I'd hate to just clip them all off with how fair and brittle they are. And then I go in. This is a staple. I feel like every femme or anybody who does makeup would wear Great Lash because of how affordable it is. You can find it literally anywhere, and it is like a prime product. I'm sure that it's hard for other companies to even compete with Great Lash. They have a waterproof version that actually works really well. So I can't imagine it's been easy for anybody who makes mascara. Because, you know, you ain't got nothing on this. So, I'm not giving you lip, but I am at the same time. This is MAC's lip liner in the shade Rosy Rim. Just sit and think on that for a few seconds. Rosy Rim. Okay, moving on. I like to slowly, very lightly overline my lips. Now, I wouldn't say I have full lips. I do have, you know, lips, but I don't have Kylie Jenner lips or Kardashian lips in general. So I know this is kind of like a light color, but I like it that way. I like it like that. Okay, I put myself in that situation. I am going to go in, choke on there, Too Faced Melted Matte. Delicious. Smell the chemicals. And I am going in Okay, so now that that is all done, the next and final steps of the phase is to add some color to my pale face. to show that I am not a corpse. I am in fact human and alive. Because I'm alive inside. Alright, Hampton's Weekend. Small little sample size here that I got. It smells great. A mix of chocolate and other chemicals. So I'm going in with Farmer's Market, this shade right here. And this is literally like the lightest palette, other than Hoola by Benefit, that I can use on my fair skin. And I just gently work that in. Try to find that contrast. Show that I have some brow bones. Draw attention from the, zits on my face if I can. If not, whatever. Then I have Summer House. And just kind of dust that on there. And this is my makeup look. This is how I usually roll out of the house. Feeling good, always be looking good. And then I start my life. So thank you so much for joining me. I am putting out videos bi-weekly. And I will be chit-chatting. Sometimes we're gonna have different things, not just me always sitting at my desk doing my makeup, because gosh, that would get so boring. I would stop watching right after that. And if you have anything that you guys want to talk about, anything that you kind of want me to talk about, let's do it. This is an open space, kind of like an intimate space. I always thought about that when I do my makeup. It's kind of like a you time. But I'm sharing it with everybody now, so let's just talk. Let's talk about makeup, let's talk about you, let's talk about me. Whatever it may be, this is all for everybody. Bye.